My sister uninvited me from her wedding 3 weeks before the date. Her exact words, "You'll make things awkward." I said nothing. I smiled. I RSVP'd. Understood. What she didn't know past my own wedding was 2 months later, and the guest list I was about to send out would make her very, very uncomfortable. This is that story. Welcome back to Justice Stories. Subscribe for daily family drama and the karma that follows. My name's Claire. I'm 29. My sister Megan is 32, the golden child of our family since we were kids. Growing up, if Megan wanted something, she got it. If I wanted the same thing, I was told to be understanding because Megan was more sensitive. When Megan got engaged last year, the whole family lit up like it was the second coming. Mom cried. Dad opened a bottle of wine he'd been saving for a decade. I was happy for her too. Genuinely, I offered to help with invitations, seating charts, anything. Then, 3 weeks before the wedding, Megan called me. "So, I've been thinking about the seating, and honestly, with everything going on between you and Derek," Derek is my ex, who happens to be friends with Megan's fiancé, "I think it'd be less awkward if you just didn't come." I asked if she was serious. She said, "It's my day, Claire. I need it to be perfect." I told my parents. I expected them to be outraged on my behalf. Instead, my mother said, "Just let her have this one, sweetie. You're always so strong about these things." Always so strong. Translation, your feelings are negotiable, hers aren't. I didn't argue. I didn't cause a scene. I sent Megan a 2-word text. Understood. Congratulations. Then I muted the family group chat and went back to planning my own wedding. To my fiancé, Adam, which was scheduled for exactly 9 weeks later. Here's the thing about being excluded from a perfect day. It gives you a lot of clarity about who actually shows up for you. Adam and I had already drafted our guest list. My parents were on it. Megan was on it. Derek, my ex, was not, obviously, because that would be insane. He's not even a mutual friend of ours. But after Megan's call, I sat with the list for a long time. Not out of spite, out of honesty. I asked myself, who has actually shown up for me this year? My parents hadn't. Megan certainly hadn't. But my Aunt Ruth had. She was the one who called every week during my divorce recovery. My coworker Priya had. She was the one who sat with me at 11 p.m. when I got the "don't come" phone call. My childhood best friend Sam had. The one Megan always excluded from her events because she wasn't really family. So I made a decision. Adam and I quietly finalized our real guest list, built entirely around people who'd actually been there for us. My parents were still invited because I'm not petty about parents. We all deserve grace. But Megan's invitation never got mailed. Not out of revenge. Out of consistency. If she needed her day to only include people who made her comfortable, I was allowed the exact same standard. Megan found out 2 weeks before my wedding. Not from me, from my mother, who apparently assumed she'd been invited, and asked Megan what she was wearing. Megan called me immediately. "Why wasn't I invited to your wedding?" I said calmly. "You told me 3 weeks before yours that it'd be less awkward if I wasn't there. I'm applying the same logic. It's not revenge, Megan. It's just your own rule," reflected back. She was quiet for a long time. Then, "That's completely different." "How?" I asked. "Explain to me how it's different." She couldn't, because it wasn't. My mother tried to intervene. The same, just let her have this one energy. I told her, "You don't get to ask me for grace. You didn't ask her to give me. The wedding happened. It was without exaggeration, the best day of my life, full of people who actually chose me all day without conditions." My Aunt Ruth gave a speech that made the whole room cry. Sam caught the bouquet. Adam and I danced until midnight surrounded by people who never once made me feel like an inconvenience. Megan wasn't there, and for the first time in my adult life, her absence didn't feel like a loss. It felt like peace. 3 months later, my mother told me Megan had been hurt, that I didn't even try to include her. I didn't respond to that. Some people only recognize the mirror when it's their own reflection staring back. Megan and I still speak occasionally. It's civil, not close. I don't think she's ever fully understood why I did what I did. And honestly, I've stopped needing her to. What I learned is simple. Boundaries aren't cruelty. They're just consequences, arriving late, wearing a nice dress. If you've ever had to give someone back their own rule, tell me about it in the comments. And if this story hit home, hit subscribe. New story every single day.